Hello, first years. This is a walkthrough video to guide you as you progress through the Advert Project, which is the first project you'll be going through with Rachel and I on the UAL Level 3 Diploma in Creative Media Production. You will see that the deadline is already there as well. Front and centre, the 9th of October is when this work is going to be due in. It covers 2 units. Unit 1, which is we're focusing on processes and understanding and applying different skills within media to create an actual project. And alongside that, planning and research as well for Unit 2, which enables you to research an idea and then extract thoughts and different approaches from that research and then applying that to your own work. Something we'll be doing a lot of on our course. So the Advert Project's 2 units, Unit 1 and Unit 2. The overview for the entire academic year you can find at our website, which is bit.ly Creative Studios BCOTS. I'll link you guys to it in your assignment brief. You can find all our socials here and an overview of the academic year as well. And as you can see here, you can see that we start with the Advert Project, which runs for 5 weeks. And after 5 weeks, we then go into the Professional Project, which runs for 3, the visual, audio, interactive, and then at the end of the academic year, the final major project, which, make no mistake about it, is what we are building you up to, getting you match fit and ready through these pass or not yet pass units to practice, to make mistakes, to learn, to pass these units, and to try and go beyond the pass criteria to test yourself against level 3 standards in preparation for the final major project, which is pass, merit, or distinction. And you will have 12 weeks for that. So 3 months to work on your final piece, whatever that might be. Now, at that point of the course in March 2021, you might decide that it's photography that's your thing, or you might decide it's film, or you might decide it's social media marketing. We have the year to work through these pass or not yet passed units to get feedback from me to improve things if it's not quite there, so you are ready to be entered into the final major project. Okay? Any questions about that, please speak to me. Let's go and look at the brief for your first project though, which is, as I say, the Advert Project. Here it is. You've been asked to create a series of advertisements for a brand new product. Now in induction, this was teased to you and you have an idea of what's coming. This brief goes through specifically what you will be doing. As in industry, you'll be given a verbal or formal and informal brief. This is a formal brief, which is from the clients to you, the worker, to create the work to a deadline. So a brand new product, you decide what the product is. Is it going to be a new pair of headphones? Is it going to be a new drink? Is it going to be some merchandise? Is it going to be a new mobile phone? A new style of pen? You decide entirely. We need to be inventive and creative here. A brand new product. What's that going to be? You're going to advertise this brand new product in a team for a specific demographic. A specific demographic. So 16 to 20, 30 to 50, be specific. The project is sponsored by our dear friends at Desk Lodge. Desk Lodge is a co-sharing creative space in Basingstoke whereby different small to medium enterprises and media professionals and creatives work in this space alongside each other to collaborate on really cool projects, take on a lot of our students for industry placements opportunities each year as well. And 2 of my students actually work there now as well. So this is a cool space which you can go and work in as well, COVID-19 permitting, and we can work alongside small to medium enterprises in this shared innovative creative space where a lot of these small to medium enterprises in Basingstoke are working. They're looking to take on bright young minds like yourselves. So Desk Lodge is sponsoring this project. They're going to be looking at your work once it's handed in, to see if you have the creative skills to join one of their many media companies that they work with, that work within Desk Lodge, for industry placement opportunities. As we've said in induction, industry placement is a part of your program of study. Flipped learning, English and maths, your vocational media lessons, and of course, personal development as well. But industry placement is just as valid as any of those other parts of your course. You don't complete the course unless you complete all those elements at the end of the year. You're going to work in a team of 3 people maximum. Minimum of 2, but maximum of 3. And you can present all your research, all of your ideas, as rough as they are, whether they're just post-its, like that's the way I work typically. Doodles, sketches, half-formed ideas and blog entries, as well as the actual planning, storyboarding and documentation, as well as your finished adverts. You're going to present this in a professional digital portfolio. Now, we recommend using Google Sites for this because it will sit in your Google Drive and you'll never lose your work. So we'll be helping you to do that in our lessons. In Flips Learning, I'll help you with that in particular. Now, the first part of the project, there's 3 main parts really. There's research, there's the advertisements themselves, and then there's the evaluation. Let's start by looking at the research. So in your team of 3 people, you're going to present all of your ideas, your research in your portfolio, your Google Sites. So, first part is ideas generation. So I'm looking for you to give me mind maps. I'm looking for you to give me some research that shows you've thought about different ideas through the activities we do in class and through you looking at other great industry examples and taking inspiration from that and telling me about that on your Google Sites. Ideas generation can manifest itself in different ways. So we don't want to be too prescriptive. We're going to give you ideas as to how you can do it, how you can present it, like I just done. But equally, if you've got better ideas as to how you can show us how you come up with different ideas, from a handwritten notebook to a mind map produced using software online to sketches using Jamboard, don't mind. As long as it is ideas generation and what you individually have contributed to your team. That's crucial. Secondly is primary and secondary research. So primary research is research you've done yourself. So that could be a Google form, finding out information about what your specific demographic wants from the product, how they want it to be advertised, what they expect. It could be a focus group if you're talking to this specific demographic through Google Meets or in person. It could be you doing research on social media to find out more about that specific demographic. Research you've done yourself, that's primary research. Interviews would be another example of that. Secondary research is equally important. That's research that exists out there already, whether that be social media analytics, YouTube analytics, whether that be looking at marketing sites to find out the best way to identify a particular specific demographic. But primary and secondary research we expect to see some of in your digital portfolio, your Google Sites. Then there's the rationale. Now Rachel's put together a nice slide on this actually, so I'll just flip over to that. So the rationale comes off of your research, and in that you do this. The rationale is a set of reasons or a logical basis for a course of action or belief. So why you're going to make the adverts you're going to make. The rationale behind what you're doing, justification behind what you're doing. So the evidence you've gained in your research you're going to use to justify why you're doing what you're doing. So why are you using Snapchat stories? Why are you using YouTube in 3-minute chunks? Why are you choosing to make a podcast on Spotify? Why are you making an Instagram story? And you might justify it in your rationale by saying, that's where my specific demographic is, because in my research I saw that 14 to 20-year-olds were primarily using Snapchat and Instagram stories as the way to get their news. So therefore it made sense to me to use this method to actually connect with my specific demographic. That's a nice distinction level answer. Your rationale is you justifying why you're doing it the way you're doing it. We'll help you with this in class, of course. Then there's the action plan. The action plan is the timeline, as it were, how you're going to use the resources, the time in class, time outside of class. I want to see a calendar or a spreadsheet or a to-do list or a plan of some description. Again, we're not being too prescriptive about this. We'll give you examples, but it's up to you as to how you choose to present your plan. But let me tell you this, the best work, year on year, the most creative students, the most successful students are those that can plan best. It's all well and good saying you're creative. Most people do on this course. Planning your time, being brutally efficient with the way you manage your deadlines, that's the difference between amateur and professional. So, on an action plan, how are you managing your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? How are you managing your time off? Are you coming in early? Are you meeting with your teammates? Are you having a Google Meet online every week to check in with each other? Are you recording that as evidence? That would be good. And throughout the project, you're going to evaluate and justify your ideas. So this will manifest itself as little blog posts on your Google sites, little updates saying what you're doing each week, what ideas you've had, what's gone wrong, what's been the failure of the week, how you've learned from it, reflecting, evaluating your ideas, justifying why you're doing what you're doing next. Each week, a sentence or two on your Google site would be excellent, just reflecting on how things are going. Now, this all leads up to you actually making the adverts. So, the advertisements that Desklodge are looking for you to produce for your brand new product, which will be put onto your Google site, your digital portfolio, needs to be video. Anything video related, that could be for the digital signage in Festival Place or on the screens around the college. It could be for Snapchat stories. It could be for YouTube or Vimeo. It could be for TV broadcast, a 30-second TV advert, for example. As long as it's video, don't really mind too much. A video advert and audio components. Now, the audio component could be the voiceover or a jingle or a radio advert or a soundtrack that complements the video, so long as there is an audio component that advertises as well as a video. So they could be the same thing. If you make a video advert which has a really good audio soundtrack, you've covered video and audio in one. Now, some people like to do a radio advert as a separate thing to their video advert. That's up to you entirely. As long as there is audio as well as video, that's really important. Then there's image. So you can extract images from your video. Screen grabs, images from the actual video you can use to actually advertise and create posters and billboards and signage and pop-ups for your product. So video, audio and image. So long as we've got 3 ways of you advertising, that's what's crucial. And at the end, and this is the most crucial aspect, is the evaluation. On our course, for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects, the advert, professional, visual, audio, and interactive, take risks, make mistakes, learn from it, so long as you then document it in the evaluation. This can be done as a vlog, can be done as a podcast, can be done as a written piece. Are you telling me how the project went, how it meets the client's expectations or doesn't meet the expectations, and how you're going to learn from it moving forward onto the next project? Okay, all work needs to be in your digital portfolio and submitted in Google Classroom, which of course we will help you with. The deadline, my friends, is the 9th of October at 4:30. That is the deadline. The criteria is outlined underneath as to what you need to do to hit each of the specific criteria, but we'll go through that in class in more detail. The purpose of this video is to let you know how you would achieve the criteria which we have gone through now. The deadline is everything. Meet the deadline. Don't hand in work because it's ready. You hand in work because it's the deadline. So, any questions? Feel free to reach out to me and talk on Google Chats or in person. But that. Okay. Rachel and I, as always, are available to help you if you need anything at all. Good luck.